What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris, and whether you're beating it to a 6-hour cutscene or beating a ton of machines in a 6-hour gaming session, Atomic Heart is going to challenge all of us in a multitude of ways. Puzzles, resource gathering, and the main topic of today with combat. Now, one thing I think anyone can agree on who's seen the trailers and leaked footage so far is that combat in Atomic Heart looks hardcore. Even too hardcore for some, with there being quite a few videos online about bullet spongy enemies. Luckily, in an interview that came out just today, it seems that combat has been changed up to be more snappy and fast-paced. As well, there will be difficulty options with 3 levels of story mode, normal mode, and hard mode. But I think in this one key detail about combat, we'll be able to make do on any difficulty with borderline unlimited ammo. So today, let's talk about combat flow in Atomic Heart. So, this can maybe be chalked up as one of my crazy theories on this game, but unlike weak points, this one is even more grounded in what we've learned about Atomic Heart so far. Let's take for instance the most recent video I had on powers where we talked on each of the powers in the game. One of them that really stands out is Polymeric Shield. Taken right from the game, your glove can surround you with a neuropolymer shield that protects you from melee and ranged damage, and redirects part of neutralized projectiles' energy into the recirculation chamber's power reserves. The recirculation chamber is something that's mentioned sparsely on the website when reading about P3. With batteries built into his jumpsuit and a universal power port that runs along the Major's arm, this is presumably the recirculation chamber that we'll be using in the game. We learned a bit more about the recirculation chamber in the gameplay overview video from about a week ago, where it states we'll be using melee to build up energy to use with energy-based weapons. And this is where combat flow finally comes into play, with the flow of combat being using melee weapons, shields, and whatever other means we have to build up energy, and then make full use of the more powerful weapons in the game to end fights quickly. It's not exactly the craziest theory, but I think in the end we may not need the more ballistic weapons in the game, especially when you get to the end of the game and have a ton of upgrades rolling. The moment you get yourself a fire axe and a railgun, that's it, dude. You've beat the game, mostly. Ballistic weapons might still stand a solid option with elemental modifiers and upgrades and attachments, but it all depends on what your playstyle will be. Will you try to be more stealthy, deactivating machines when you can, or will you be the Soviet version of Doom Guy, blasting through waves of machines and mutants? In both instances, you can't say no to using the blue BFG when surrounded by deadly-ass machines. So when looking at upgrading our character, the last option is to upgrade your character's energy, and so this is where the question of what those upgrades will be comes into play. Whether it's upgrades to your base reserves or how you accumulate energy, I have a gut feeling upgrading our character's energy is going to be the more essential upgrades to get in the game, just flat out. When it comes down to crafting and gathering ammunition, or somehow managing an infinite supply of energy to use more powerful weapons, I think anyone could see the clear choice in this situation. So there it is. It's honestly just a simple theory that our character's energy is going to play a massive part in playing through Atomic Heart, and upgrading it early so you can get the most out of energy-based weapons and conserve ammo and dish out tons of damage is just a very common sense approach to the upgrades and flow of combat. We'll find out if my theory pans out when Atomic Heart launches February 21st, just a week and a half away. So, thank you for watching. Maybe consider subscribing to catch more Atomic Heart content, and see if my theories play out here in the game. But for now, I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.